Alright, so I missed the stream last week since there wasn't any. Um, and Alright, so I missed. Sorry about that. Well, um, so I've been working a little bit more with Cryblend as far as exporting the characters, and I've managed to have some results, um, which seems to be satisfactory for. Um, I mean, I did spend some time on it, but as with something new, it takes some time to get used to it. Currently, I'm able to import a character that I make in. I use Make Human to create this, and currently it's just one skin. So if we were to look at this guy here, let's see, he only has the skin attachment, which is the body itself, this mesh, and there's the skeleton. Um, this is the skin, and of course there's the simple arm wave animation that I did in Blender. So I'm going to try and run through the process I used to get to this point. Um, Hopefully in the future I'll be able to do the process that would do multiple skins and actually get a character that would have like an outfit uh, and things like that. Please let me know if the music is too loud or my voice is not loud enough. Okay, so I guess let's get to it. So I'm using Make Human for this. So for those of you not familiar with Make Human, it's this character creation program that is free and it's really useful. Makes things a lot quicker. I mean, it's you're not gonna get a Nathan Drake out of it just by the default export, but you can definitely get the starter for Nathan Drake, I guess. Okay, so let's create a basic character. We'll keep this simple. I actually wanted to make like a kid, so let's do something about that size, and we'll leave everything else as is. You can always go into here and add eyes, hair, teeth, tongue. There's a bunch of materials that are by default. So I'll let you play with this. It's not really the purpose of this stream, but it's pretty fun. Hey, Journey. Okay, so now that I have this very well crafted character, what I need to do is I need to go into pose animate, and I need to select the skeleton, like or a rig. So for this one I'm going to use this CMU MB. I don't know what that stands for, but it's the most simple rig that Make Human provides. And if you see here, it's also optimized for motion capture data, um, which I intend on using at some point. Probably this is not going to be the rig to do that because as you can see, it only has um, 4 bones for the hands. So um, if it'd be fine for it'd be perfectly fine for like an NPC in the game. It'd be probably excellent, if that NPC wouldn't be, you wouldn't be interacting really up close to him, and he wouldn't need any kind of um, vocalizing anything like any need for the mouth to move. For that, I believe there's something like this that would have all your bones from the nose to the mouth, the tongue, and everything else. But this is a little bit more complex. It's 163 bones, so you can picture it gets a little tricky to manage all that. So for the purpose of today, we'll use the simplest option available. Alright, so let's go ahead and we'll export this. And what I'll do, I'll export it as a Make Human Exchange and MHX2. And there's a couple of videos available if you do get Make Human on how to get this extension. It might not be needed. I haven't tried the other ones in order to export this and get it also exported with the rig and have it work like I currently have. So I'll use this format for now. So let's choose where to export it, and I've actually created a character 3 folder here. Let me just erase everything. Actually, I guess I can't. Let me just erase that everything in that folder, so we'll have something fresh. Okay, let's do this export again. So we'll call this character 3 and hit save. Okay, so this is exporting, and let's go to Blender. So currently I'm using the latest version of Cryblend, which is 5.2. You can get that, I believe it's available on GitHub. Alright, so let me just delete these two because I don't need them. Okay, so let's go and I'll import this MHX2 file. I have Blender 2.75, and in order to turn that import feature on, you just go in here and look for MHX2, and you have two options. I use the number 2 because that's what the Make Human Exporter is made for, apparently. So let's import that character here, and it was right here. There we go. Now let's import this, and as you can see, it imported with the rig, and again, just that simple rig with less bones. Alright, so if you take a look at this, let me turn on my screencast just in case. If you take a look at this, you can see that it already has a node added to it, or a group. So I'll remove this. I'll add them via the Cryblend tool. Okay. One thing that's also being added with these characters is these eyes, and I'll keep these off for now. I'm not going to use them, so it'll be kind of like a soulless child like that. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to try and export. I'm going to start by exporting the skeleton, and then I'll export the body, or this mesh, as skin. And then we'll create a simple animation and export that as well. We'll bring those into Cryengine. So Journey, the way from what I've been looking online and through some videos, you have to export the skeleton first with, of course, a root bone, then the skin, which is this part, and then the animation. So so I'm gonna do both the character and the animation as well. But the character, like I said, it's made out of the skeleton and the skin. So, alright. First things first, what you will need is a root bone. So let's go ahead, and Cryblend has this nice tool here, Bone Utilities, and add a root bone. So there's our root bone down here, and if you look in our hierarchy, you'll see that this parents all the other bones in the skeleton. So that's what we need. Okay, once that is added, we need to add a mesh, because apparently this is the workflow. I haven't tried it without the mesh, but from what I could tell so far, you need to assign something to it or the export won't work. Like I said, I'm still experimenting with this, so this is the only way I've got it to work so far. Okay, so to this bottom square, which will actually be in touch with the root bone, and this is used by the engine to calculate the object position. This is my understanding. So let's add the vertex group root to this and make sure you assign it. So now if I was to select this, you see that that bottom piece is assigned to the root bone. So this one will also need material. So we'll call this, let's call it root for now, and maybe root bone, and I'll add just a fizz none for now. Hopefully in the following weeks I'll figure out how to get the physics exported for this, so I'll show that when I figure it out. Alright, now what we need to do is just parent this plane, which is plain, to this, and since I already added that root bone, when you hit Control P, I'm just gonna set parent to object, and here it is. For the time being, I don't need this, so it can stay there, but let's unparent it just to be safe. So I'm gonna clear the parent for the body. Okay, so what we need to export here is gonna be the skeleton and the root plane. So let's go ahead and add an export node, and this is gonna be a CHR, and we'll call this character 3 or CHAR3, and let's call it skeleton so we know which one's which. And okay, look down here, it's there. What I need to make sure is that I add a UV map to my bottom, this bottom plane here. So I'll add that. Okay. Hey Oscar. Hey Roma. Okay, so I'll turn on System Console just to see if I get any errors upon export. And let's hit Cryblend, export to game. Actually, first thing I want to do is, oh yeah, there you go. Oscar, thanks for adding that. Let me save this as, and we'll save it as character 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and do export to game. We're already in the right folder. I'm not going to worry about materials right now. Let's just see if this exports properly, and there it is. So in here I have the character skeleton.chr file created. Okay, let's go to our character tool in Cryengine, and let's create this new character. Go into objects, characters, character 3, and we'll create a character 3 character definition file. Alright, so let's select the skeleton, just double click in that box, and objects, characters, character 3, and there we go, we have the skeleton. Open that up. One thing to keep in mind with everything that's coming from Make Human is that the sizes are, it will tell you one size in Make Human that is 2 meters high by default or something like that. but once you bring it into into Blender, it's about 10 times bigger. So as you can see, and here's a mistake that I noticed. So one thing that to keep in mind is whenever you export these, you gotta keep it in the Y positive. So right now I have it in the Y negative. So this is going to be pretty easy to do. If you go into tab, you hit tab and you go into edit mode, make sure you rotate around the origin, or in my case is going to be the cursor. So let's rotate around the z-axis by 180. So there we go. We have the rig, the skeleton is oriented in the proper direction. So let's do another export, and let's export this. There we go. One file processed. And the character tool. Let's see. I'm wondering if I can just close out of that and load the skeleton again, and hopefully it's going to load the proper orientation one. There we go. So now the skeleton is oriented the proper way, and as you can see, the proportions from Blender to Cryengine is 1:1, but from what I can tell, the proportions from Make Human to Blender is 10:1 or 1:10. So be mindful of that. Alright, so we have the skeleton in the engine. Now let's go ahead and put the skin in it. So let's go here, and we want to do the same thing with the body. And again, just rotate around the cursor. So rotate on the z-axis, 180. There we go. Okay. So now this is our character, and what I will do, I will save this as the skin. So I'll just try and keep these separate, just so I don't mess anything up. Okay, so this is the skin. Save as Blender file. Okay, so once you export the skin, what I'll do for this one, I'll remove the nodes first. For the skin, you won't need the root square. So, but you will need to have the body or the mesh parented to the armature. So let's select the body. So well, let's just drop it in like that. And first of all, let me remove all these bones. And now let's parent this. And we'll do with automatic weights. So as you can see, everything gets assigned like so. And just to make sure that we have everything properly assigned, let's do just a quick rotation here. There we go. So that seems to be assigned to the proper vertex groups. Okay. So now that we have that in place, let's give this guy, which is just the skin of the character, literally. We'll give it, I mean, it already has a material assigned, but we'll call this character 3 skin. I don't like capitals. Character 3 skin. Okay, and again, we'll just do it with fizz none. Okay. So I was just making sure that everything is properly aligned, and selecting both of these. Let's add another export node, and this time is going to be a skin. So let's call this skin. You will have the extension to this, but I just like to name them a little bit more. Okay, so hit OK. Let's see, this one already has a UV map. So let's go ahead and do the export. See, hopefully everything exports fine. So I'll keep it along with the character skeleton and export. Okay, there we go. So one file got processed. Let's see if we can assign this skin to our skeleton. So under attachments, just do add, and we'll call this skin. And this will be a skin attachment. And let's look for the geometry. And under objects, characters, we have it right here. Let's open this. And there we go. So now we have the skin for the character, again with those soulless eyes. Kind of freaky already. Okay. So now we have this in place. Let's save everything. And let's do the animations. So it's going to be very, very simple animations. And in order to do that, I'll leave this aside, but I will use the previous file because that one had everything that I need to be exported. We don't need the mesh to export with the animations, but we do need the skeleton and the root bone. So let's go ahead and we can actually rename this to be, and we'll call it just like before, arm wave, because apparently this is the only type of animation I can sort of do right now. So arm wave dot I_CAF. Okay, so now that we named this one also carries that group name. So let's try and do let's try and put an animation into this. We'll make this end at frame 40. So with the armature selected, what I like to do, I like to switch to octahedral. The stick is kind of hard to grab at times, so let's switch to this, and let's go to pose mode. So in pose mode, first of all, what I want to do is place the arms a little bit around the body. So first you need to go into pose position. So let's rotate around the y-axis. Oh, this one is not parented, so my apologies. Let's parent this one here, like that, and just so that I can see how the body is, how the mesh is affected. So rotate around the y. What's going on? Let's do delete all groups, and we'll parent this again. Control P with automatic weights. So let's try this again. Pose mode. So there we go. Let's place the arm around the body, and the same thing with this arm around the y-axis. Oh, and sorry, I forgot to turn on screencast keys. Okay, so let's place this in a more kind of normal position, like so. There. And one thing about Make Human is that you can, if you do use the same skeleton, you can bring in a bunch of different poses. So it will save you time if you want to have already a starting pose for your character. Okay, so let's place this arm into a arm waving position, so to speak. Also, the way, as you can see, I can see the skeleton bones through the mesh. So in order to do that, you just turn on X-ray. Okay, so let's do like so. Hey Laura, I'm actually working on exporting some a character and animations into Cryengine using Blender. So let's try and turn on this into a more wavy hand look. Okay, now that we have these bones in place, I'll select all of them and insert a keyframe. So for this one, I'm going to do location rotation. So there we go, everything is the same. So I'll move on to let's do frame 20, because it's just going to be a back and forward movement. And this is starting to look like wax on and wax off. And again, do an insert location rotation. So let's see how that looks. And then we can go to frame 40. And actually what I can do, let's see, I haven't tried this yet. I'm wondering if I can, maybe I shouldn't do it this time. I'll try it on my own time. I was hoping that I could copy this pose and then move it onto the end frame, so that way once the animation ends, it ends in the same spot. But since I can't remember what angles I've used, it's probably not going to do that. So I'm very much a novice when it comes to animations. So let's do this like so. And location rotation. So there we go, kind of, yay, it's doing something. Okay, so we can go into object mode, and we have everything selected. Let's try and export this animation. So I can just select export animations, and one thing that I want to do is save this file as animations, and then let's do character 3 animation, and we'll save it in here. I'll call it character 3 animations. Alright, so let's export this. Hopefully it's gonna show one file processed. So since we have it saved, the source file is saved in this folder, it will export directly to that. So let's see. Alright, the animation got exported, one file processed. Great. Let's go into the character tool, and so in here we still have a few things left to do. On the characters, we have character 3, and this is that CHR parameters file where we need to specify where the animation is coming from. So let's add a path, and we'll use animations character 3. It only needs the directory, so select that. As you can see, the animations got loaded right here, but if we try and play it, the skeleton alias is not specified. So in order to do that, we need to select our skeleton, but none of them are in here. So let's go to the skeleton list, and we'll add the skeleton that we used, which is that character 3 skeleton. So let's look for that. Objects, characters, character 3, and here it is. So let's go back to our animation and try and select our character 3 skeleton. For some reason you need to do an import. I'm not sure why, but it seems that works, at least for me. Alright, so there we go. The thing is waving at us. One thing that I haven't been able to figure out is there used to be a, and this is on and off, I don't know why, maybe it's something I'm doing wrong. There is a comparison between, and of course you can always do a side by side, a comparison for the what it was previously as far as the size of the animation and what it is after it gets compressed. But I mean, if I change this in here to a higher compression value, it still works. This part, okay, so yeah, this part is because I can specify an animation events file in here. I'm still reading through the docs and I'm not entirely sure what this animation events file is needed for. It's probably something that I'm not at the level yet that I can't say. So let's save this here. Events, and create that. Okay, so everything is saved. So one of the issues that I was having before, even though I showed it as this is what we're going to do during the stream, was whenever I was changing the compression value, the RC compiler that actually compiles these animations, it also does the compression, was failing. So I was having a hard time figuring out why, but eventually, after looking at some videos online, they're a little bit broken up, so that's why I decided that I should try and make one of these that it's all in one piece, and hopefully it helps some other people out there. And that is pretty much it for what I was planning on showing you today. I'm actually pretty happy that this week didn't go in vain, and I was able to export some animations. So there you go. If you guys have any questions, do let me know. Hopefully I can answer them. I will be posting this video on YouTube as well, and I'll put some tags in it so people that are using Blender and Cryblend can hopefully find it easier, and maybe it's gonna be of some help. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna close this stream right here, and yeah, I guess Cryengine wanted me to prove me wrong on certain things. So I'll close the stream right here. I'll come back, and I was planning on doing a little bit of normal normal modeling using Undo from Quixel. I'm also learning it, so yeah, if you wanna stick around, I'll start this following stream in just a few seconds here.